Hey guys, what's up? In today's video, I'm going to be going over my August budget. If you're new here on this channel, I share my family's journey to financial independence. We are a family of 6. I recently had another baby back 2 months ago, so we are now a family of 6. And on this channel, I share all things budgeting related, including budget with me's and weekly check-ins. Also, I haven't shared too much on this channel, but we do have 2 rental properties that I may share a little bit about later, but it is part of our financial independence journey. So if that's something you're into, don't forget to click that red subscribe button and follow us along our journey. August is going to be a little bit of a busy month for us just because of back to school. I am a teacher, so there's a few things that I need to do, but for the most part, as far as our budget goes, it won't be too crazy with back to school expenses. I do need to get the baby some stuff for daycare coming up. With that being said, our income is going to be changing in the next month or so. August will be normal, but starting in September, I'm going to have to pay for 2 children's daycares payments, so that'll be affected by our budget going forward. So I'm trying to plan on how I want to go about adjusting our budget going forward with those expenses. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump into these numbers. So I'm going to start here on the top left with our income. So for our income, I am expecting us to get $5,940. I messed up our budgeted amount last month because I got my numbers mixed up from the income. So this is the correct amount of what we should receive. This is the bare minimum without any additional income or extra income, overtime, bonuses, anything like that. So this is the least amount that we would get for that. So in all, I expect $5,940. And as far as expenses, let's scroll down here. For expenses, the first thing I start with is my fixed expenses. The first one is our mortgage. Our mortgage is $2,600 a month. We did move into our new house back in January of this year of 2023. We actually got a smaller house with a little bit of land. So our mortgage payment at our other house was around $1,800 and now it is $2,600. And while this is a new build home, it's not a huge house. It was 1,400 square feet with 3 bedroom, 2 bathrooms. So nothing, big or anything. So this is just what $2,600 gets you in Texas right now. I guess I could say. My next expense is our water bill. That is around $75 a month, give or take. Next is my van. Since we were welcoming a new baby into our home or into our lives this year, we needed a vehicle that fit our entire family. So I ended up financing a minivan. This is a debt that I eventually want to tackle in the future, but for right now, it's just not a priority. So I'm just making the monthly payments, which is $465 is what I'm budgeting. I believe it's actually $463 and some change, but I just round up for this budget. My next expense is my Apple storage, and I pay $10 a month for that. My internet is $65.55 a month, and that really hasn't changed over the last few months. Next is our electric bill. I actually already received the bill for this. That is due toward the end of August, or I guess the middle of August. It's $273.81. That is definitely on the high end. This is the highest it's ever been, but it's also been in the hundreds almost like every other day here in Texas. So it is what it is. There's not much I can do. Part of this also has to do with the fact that we did build I would say like a storage dog house, whatever you want to call it, for our dogs outside that is insulated and air conditioned for them during these hot summer months. So that is also has made our electric bill go up. Next is my cell phone bill, and that is $98 a month. This is just for my cell phone. My husband has his reimbursed through his work, so I just have to budget for mine. Next is my 403B, and that is $94 a month I'm budgeting. Next is my life insurance. I have term life insurance. It's a 30-year term life policy, and I budget $30 for that. Trash is $27 a month. And this ritual expense I did put on here because I'm going to make it is a fixed expense. It comes out every month. Technically, it's a subscription I have with my multivitamins. I still take my prenatal vitamins through them, and it's usually $39. But I went ahead and skipped the month of August because I have a lot on hand just because I forgot to use it a couple days, actually more than just a couple days. So I still have some I need to use up. So I'm going to budget for it in September, but I went ahead and put it on my budget sheet so I wouldn't forget about it. So those are all my fixed expenses. So the ones that don't really change too much from month to month. I don't really go over or under. It usually just kind of balances out. Next are my variable expenses. This is what I do my weekly check-ins on each week to make sure that I'm not going over and I'm staying under budget, because these are the ones that get a little out of hand. First is food. I'm going to budget $950 for food for us. I did really good staying under budget last month when I budgeted $950. So I'm going to try this again and see what happens. Usually every other month I tend to overspend in this area. So we'll just see what happens and keep it at $950 for this month as well. My next expense is gas or any car expenses, and I'm budget $150. I am going back to work, so I may have to up this if I need to. But I'm just going to leave it at $150 for now. If I'll do like a mid-month check in, well, I do check-ins every week. And if I feel like I'm going over any more money, then I will adjust the budget as necessary. Next is household expenses. This is for things around the house, like cleaning supplies and paper plates and napkins and that kind of stuff. I'm going to budget 60. Usually if I go over in this, I end up pulling from the grocery budget or the food budget up here. So I'm still going to budget $60. Next is miscellaneous. This is those items that really don't fit in some of these categories or just unexpected expenses, and I'm budget $100 there. Next is pups. I budget $7,500, not $7,500, $75 for their dog food each month. Next is kids. I used to have this as baby in previous months, but I changed it to kids because we have a lot of kid expenses. And I did bump this up. I used to budget 60. Now I bumped it up to 150. So that should help with some of those expenses, especially now that we're going back to school. Next is beauty. I budget 60. This usually is pretty good and covers me for the month. Next is medical. I'm going to budget 60. I still have my HSA card that I can use, and I do have money on for any medical expenses that come up. Next is fun. I'm still going to keep fun at 40 like I did last month. For gifts, I'm going to budget 25. There's only one birthday in the month of August, but I'm not sure if I'm even going to see this person or if we're going to do anything. So I might just send them a gift card or something. Next is personal. This is a new line item for this month. My husband and I talked about this and how we need a personal spending account. And this is a great idea just because I have just random expenses that kind of come up that I need to buy or want to buy. And so this is good for that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping this will help me not go over in some of these other categories here for personal spending. So that is in the budget. And then the remaining amount we have left over from all of our expenses being coming out is $430. And I'm just kind of putting this in like a savings category for now. I don't know exactly where I'm going to put the money. That's something I need to think about this next month and look at my sinking funds and look at all my savings and see where I need to put it, where I need to allocate it to. With that being said, our fixed expenses is $3,738.36. Our variable expenses is $1,700. I'm putting $430 towards savings, bringing us a total of $39.38.36, leaving us a remaining leftover $1.64, which I'll just keep in my checking account. I could make this a zero-based budget and put this 164 in savings, but I like round numbers, so I'm going to leave it like this for now. As far as percentages go, I have 63% going to my fixed expenses right now, almost 30% going to variable, and then savings is at 7%, which is crazy to me because I feel like back last year we were saving almost 50% of our income based off everything that would come in. But we were also making a lot more, and childcare costs was a little bit less than actually costs, and taxes and everything else was less. Now we're just finding it a little harder to struggle, especially after moving into the new house. We have new expenses and higher expenses. So looking at the budgeted breakdown, this is a breakdown of everything that I budgeted. So the biggest expense, of course, is our mortgage at 43.8% of our income or of our budgeted income. See, the next one is food at 16%, and then the van at 7.8%, and then savings at 7.2%. So I always like to look at this and then compare it to my actual expense breakdown at the end of the month and just kind of look and see and compare the differences. With these monthly budgets, I also like to go over any goals that I have set this month. So my first goal is actually my same goal that I had last month too, was stay under budget. So this month I want to really watch my variable expenses. I did up the budget to make it more realistic, so that will help. My next goal is to do my weekly check-ins consistently. I did them all for the month of July, and I'm super happy with myself. So I'm going to continue doing those because those really help me. My next goal is to start a morning routine again with going back to school, going back to work. I would like to get in a new or a better morning routine. I go back to work this month and now I'm going to have to get two babies ready in the morning. So I just want that morning routine. I did pretty good last year. I would wake up an hour before I needed to start getting ready. And so that really helped. And then I think I'm going to do the same thing this year, maybe incorporate some other things. I have set very high goals for myself. Uh, I have included things like I want to read, journal. I definitely drink my coffee, maybe go for a walk, prep. I did buy a treadmill last month. So that's what I would do, like maybe walk for 10, 15 minutes, nothing crazy. And then try to prep the night before or get up early and prep. That way I'm not trying to do it all when the kids are awake. I can get a lot of things done before the kids even wake up. So I'm going to utilize that time to do my morning routine. My next goal is to not only budget for saving challenges, but just start saving challenges. I follow a lot of people who do these savings challenges, and it's very inspiring to see how much they can save just a little bit each week by doing these saving challenges. My problem that I've set for myself is I can save the money, but sometimes I don't know where to allocate it or put it. And it just kind of sits there, and I don't have a dedicated fund for all the money that I set aside. And so I think these savings challenges would actually help me because it would, I guess, help me allocate the money to different, to other funds and things that are coming up in the future. And it's a fun way to do it at the same time. So I wanted to get on Etsy and start buying some savings challenges. And that way I can start doing that as a fun way just to save money. So I think I'm just going to start with a few savings challenges for different things. For example, Christmas, I have saved $0 for Christmas. And that is something that I want to start saving for specifically. I've always been really bad about saving for Christmas and waiting until like the month before to save for it. So I really want to change my ways there. Another expense that has come up each year is back to school, and I never seem to have enough money for back to school. Or I have the money, I guess just to say. I just tend to pull from different funds, and so that's something that I also want to do as well. So each month I just want to start doing, one little thing at a time. This month I want to start the saving challenges. Next month I would like to get back to doing my net worth stuff. I used to track my net worth, and I have, but it's just like not very consistent. So I would like to get to doing that again on a consistent basis, and definitely simplifying it, because every time I do our net worth, it is just so many different accounts I have to go and look up. So I want to try to simplify that process as much as possible. So yeah, that will probably be next month's goal in September. So, but yeah, one thing at a time is how I'm taking it now. So there it is. That is my August budget. Let me know in the comments below if you've done your August budget. Also, if you want to go ahead and put in the comments below any shops that you recommend to get savings challenges from, I already have a list of different shops that I'm going to definitely be buying savings challenges from. That way I can support fellow Etsy shop owners and YouTubers on their financial journey as well. But if you have any you recommend, feel free to type them in the comment box below. I hope you guys have a great month, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.